Good. It's,
We're live.
it's 18:31, and we'll meet to order. Unfortunately, Bill Perez's mom passed away, and, they buried her today. And,
Can we do a moment of silence?
we absolutely, yeah. And then also, just recently in the past week, Gary's brother also passed away.
Yes.
We will also keep them in our prayers. Okay, with that, let's call the meeting to order, and we'll begin. Today's just Bill about this.
Take roll call.
Yeah, Mr. Secretary, can you take a roll call, please?
Mr. Perez, Larry. Myself, Gary, Judy. Pedro,
Here.
Nicole,
Here.
Ed. Chris,
Yeah.
Catherine,
Here.
Sanchez.
Alejandro.
Alex, I've never seen Alex.
Alex.
Alex is fine.
Mr. Knickerbocker here, and Jamie. Right. Gutierrez.
Right, the leaders? You will lead us, Mr. Perry?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence. Do we have any public comment? Comments?
Just want to introduce myself for a second to Chad and Jamie. Everybody else already pretty much knows me from the, huh? Catherine. Catherine.
Jamie.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it was the last name I saw. I apologize. My name is Alejandro Sanchez. I've been in town resident since 2008. I was chairman of the Veterans Committee for 4 years. Back when we were still an ad hoc, I was actually chair when we became a committee. I stepped away for a while due to health issues and other personal things, but I'm happy to be back and I'm ready to help the committee in any way that I can. Just fortunate to have them both, and I look forward to working with you.
And Alex, right?
Alex.
Nice to meet you.
We're happy to have you back, Alex. He's always been a great contributor and a true leader. He's a great guy to work with. Okay, any other public comments?
Gary, you want to say something about me for tomorrow? I mean, the big one Saturday?
Yeah, that
You're gonna have it.
it's coming Saturday, the American Legion of Hosts will be hosting its annual family picnic. You're all welcome to stop by from 10:30 on. There'll be some plenty of bratwurst.
Oh.
Hamburgers,
All right.
I like that.
German beers and after.
Right.
And
Who's
sauerkraut.
manning the grill?
Hmm?
Who's manning the grill?
Oh, Pete.
Big Williams.
Pete and Jose Mujiz.
Yeah, all right.
And Chris Wilson.
Fancy hot dogs, everything is gonna be nice.
Oh, and to piggyback on that, this Sunday is the annual car show,
The,
car
Yes,
show
correct.
on Main Street.
Right.
It's a great event.
That's a good.
It's a lot of cars, and for $30, you get your wristband for the beer garden, and it's all the beer and lechon in a Chinese box that you can. So it really is a great event.
It's gonna be.
What time does that start?
It's from 10 to 5. Yeah. And you have everything from the 1920s
Right.
to 2024 exotic cars. Yeah.
And,
Gary?
and it's something that doesn't happen very often, but you've seen the missing POW MIA,
Yes.
Prisoners of War Missing in Action. Well, I received information, there's a private, corporal, Frank Benak. Date of loss, December 1942, date of report 2 February 2024. Wow. Identified. And he arrived in MIA last night.
Wow.
And the burial will be at Vista Memorial on next Friday.
Did they say where they found him?
Hmm?
Did they say where they found him?
He was found the vicinity Buna, territory of Papua New Guinea.
Oh, yeah.
and he will be presented a Bronze Star. And I think they were calling the mayor to present it. And I thought it would be done by military officer, and would be the way it should be.
When is the
We'll
ceremony?
see,
When is the ceremony?
Friday, next Friday, the burial will be at, next Friday.
At what
I
time?
believe it's 10 or 11, that's on my email.
Can that information be shared with us by email or text message or?
Yeah, I can send it to you,
Yeah, please.
Okay.
but this is the complete report, this is how they went with their maps, and he was buried in the village cemetery. And in 2012, Australia officers, they went around looking for missing soldiers, see if they could find. And somebody from the mayor of the village showed them they had an ID. What the heck is this? It's military ID, US military. So they unearthed, they dug up the body. And from then on, then in 2017, he was buried in a local cemetery, not buried, placed under custody there.
Hmm.
And they began the complete investigation, next of kin, and
Does
the
he have
DNA.
here that'll be?
He has family here,
Wow.
he has nephews.
Wow.
But he was a Cannon Company, 128th Infantry Regiment, 32nd Infantry Division. There was a company and he never made it back to the company. And that was the last statement, 5 December 42. And they couldn't figure out how the mayor got the village got that tag, but it's believed that when they found the body and brought it to the cemetery, one of the residents took it and they eventually gave it to them.
We say.
But that was, I mean, they tied everything together with that. It's been interesting, if you have the time to read it.
Thank you, Gary. Any other public comments?
Can I say something?
Yes.
You bet.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I apologize. Your name, I didn't see you sitting back there.
yes, so my name is Alain Espinar. This is my first time here. I've been working in Miami Lake for over 4 years. I'm looking to move into the town this year. Actually, I'm in Kendall right now, but my wife and I, we own a business here. We do financial services, and the way I see that I can help the community is we do financial awareness workshop for free. If that is beneficial to you, I will be happy to serve the community as a financial advisor. And we do usually for about an hour financial awareness workshops, if that is beneficial.
Good to know.
Thank you. Thank you.
You got your card?
Yes.
Got your card.
Okay, I don't think we have the minutes from last meeting.
Yeah. No,
We don't have it here.
nothing to approve.
So I move we defer the minutes to next meeting.
Yeah. Second,
Minutes for the third. I'm a little bit confused here, under old business, Serve Speedy, big check, update. Does anyone know exactly what's going on with the big checks that we made up?
No, okay, I'll be two individuals over.
I think Judy was helping us with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see any, I can check with Judy or get what's going on tomorrow on that. Veteran Vegetable Victory Garden, that's something that, that Bill was handling.
Yes.
Any updates on that? Anyone have anything they want to add to that?
We'll defer.
The scholarship update, how are we doing with applications on that, John?
We have 5 scholarships. I don't remember the last meeting
You don't have the information with you?
on the applicants.
Yeah.
No, because it's not closed yet.
Are any of them veterans?
Good.
Like, do you know if any of the
Veterans
applicants are?
themselves?
Yes.
No,
There's.
from my understanding, they're
students.
all students.
Okay,
Yeah, I haven't opened every single one.
okay.
I have 5 envelopes upstairs waiting for me to properly log them, so.
Awesome.
Have they been vetted? Have we checked them to make sure they're legitimate?
No, I think we're doing.
No,
that on the
I
3rd of
haven't,
May.
I haven't done like an unsealing of the packages.
Can we do a post, like, you know how like the education board did a post for theirs?
Mhm.
Can we do a veterans post like through Canva like you've done before for that one too as well? Because the only thing you did was the Facebook to like
Well,
repost for people.
Yeah, but after that one, more posts did go out.
I posted it on the Miami Lakes residence page, on the
you
Island
did?
Annex page. I sent it to the principal Barbara Bowman. I sent it to the principal Jose Martinez. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are more gonna come out.
Okay.
I can send you guys, maybe we can do an analysis, see when information.
Okay.
But if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna vet them on the 3rd of May,
Yeah, like.
at the meeting on the 3rd of May.
So we have 5 right now. I don't know of any more applicants. Should we amend this? Do we need to add more, go further to residents of Miami Lakes or out of Miami Lakes? Just the veterans? Do you think we should expand this anymore?
That's up to us as a committee.
Well, that's what we're asking.
I personally, I don't, these are things, scholarships, they come in at the very last, you know, people are still
Yeah.
like. And they're still deciding what they wanna do, find other places, I think the net that was cast is perfectly fine,
Okay, so,
but that's just.
Because if we open up too much, then it'll get watered down so much, the scholarship amount will be.
exactly.
So-
So right now, we're good. We have 5 applicants. There's no need to expand this.
I
I
don't,
think we were still at zero.
We let the Laker know, we.
Yeah,
put
it's on
out-
the Lakers.
We put out
You wanna
amendments.
check it?
It's on the Laker?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it's me now.
So moving on to item D.
This is tomorrow.
Item D, the Arbor Day ceremony.
I-
Do we have a time?
Well, Facebook.
Do we have a time set up for the Arbor Day ceremony?
No,
When is the Arbor Day ceremony?
the date for the groundbreaking, which
What day of the week is that?
the 26th. So Friday.
In the past, we've done Arbor Day celebrations in the evening after work kind of
Right,
thing.
yeah.
Will that be the same this year, Jonathan?
It could be, again, I don't have for the groundbreaking, there's no.
Okay, so we can establish a time for that tonight?
Phase 12.
Pardon me?
No, I'm sorry, it was some phase 12.
Does anyone have any recommendation for what time? we should-
Well, if I can, is that the day that we're doing the
Victory Garden.
the Victory Garden? We don't have anything set in stone yet.
Well, Bill was gonna coordinate the Victory Garden, and one way, whether you have a Victory Garden or not, we still need to do the ceremony.
Yeah,
Whether to bring in a tree or a plant or whatever, it's Arbor Day, and we need to
yeah.
move forward.
And the golden shovels.
Yeah, and golden shovel. So does anyone have a recommendation for a time?
6:30 PM.
The chair of the, one of the clubs, they want to help us.
Okay, who was that?
The Dorothy, she's also the chair.
Dorothy Cook?
Garden Club, you're right.
Dorothy Cook?
Yes, Dorothy, with,
Oh, okay.
Bill Perez is gonna be masked for a ceremony, yes.
Right.
So the only thing we really need to do, I'm sure that, that'll not be a problem. We'll coordinate that with Bill.
Yeah.
And the only other thing we need to do tonight would be, I think, as far as that's concerned, would be to, confirm the time.
Yeah.
Alex says 6:30.
There's 7. May,
Yeah, I've seen in the
6:30.
past, I've seen 6 p.m.
Pardon me?
I've seen 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
So 6:30.
6 p.m.
I don't know.
Okay, do you have a motion?
I'll put a motion on the floor to have the ceremony at 6 PM on Arbor Day.
Second.
6 PM on Arbor Day.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay.
Thank you, Alex. Welcome. Okay,
Yeah.
Military banners replacement status update.
Yeah, so I reached out to Fred with, general numbers, assuming we got X amount new banners, replacing the old ones. I read the estimate by you guys last time. It's gonna be 105 new prints. Like updating some from the previous batch, pulling some out of rotation, and then the new ones, it's 105. So I have to get new quotes for the 105, but regardless of what it is, Fred has agreed to pay the difference, you know, because after we have our 12,500. It was looking a bit over 7,000 for the Automall's contribution.
7
We left it in his, up to him, as we do. I had some, just in case scenarios laid out for me, but since he's gonna cover the rest. I'm sure it's gonna be a little less than that now, that we're
He's gonna pay it.
effectively pulling 5 less than we expected. So,
Okay, next question.
oh, and, yeah,
Good, Jeff.
Shouldn't we just have this as an open item banner? The veterans could apply or nominate someone, not just cut it off, 2 months to register for the banner. Just have it open throughout the year.
so. I have been thinking of that, like this could be, the only problem that I have with that, or not I have, that I could see popping up would be the install the cost of the install.
No,
Yeah,
what
no,
it
no,
means
no, no,
is
no,
if
no,
you
no.
submit it by May first, then you'll have it for Memorial Day. But if you submit it June first, you
Yeah,
won't see it until
We're not
Memorial
gonna
Day of next.
installing.
So
throughout
still
the
doing
year.
one install,
No, we're not installing,
But-
just to collect nominations.
a rolling
Throughout
coverage
the
of
year.
applications.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what you mean, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
That's
then what you,
installing
so
throughout the year.
if you want it
Make
by
a motion.
Memorial Day,
Yeah, so
submit by May.
We have a motion on the floor?
So I would make a motion because I know why I'm talking about it, because what happened is, it was. April 2nd was the deadline.
Yeah.
Guess what? So I'm at home, 9 o'clock, trying to upload. I can't upload it.
Yeah.
Why? Because the nomination
Was close.
closed at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
No, April 2nd ends at midnight.
Yeah.
So I had to send them all manually.
Right.
And the same thing happened with other people. No, because that was done, so as if someone was bringing them in, they could only do it up until 5 o'clock.
Right.
Well, yeah, but you can give them the option, listen, 5 o'clock here, but you can always go online and do it online.
Right.
So let's do this.
Yeah, but if they submit it April third, then they're not gonna be in the print.
No, I know.
For this year.
I know,
All of them.
but you can't just close it up at 5 o'clock.
No, at midnight.
Okay, can we,
So
Clarify the
why
motion.
don't we just open it, I make a motion that we have veteran military TV banners for veterans nominations throughout the year, they can be submitted, and they will be then included for the following year.
okay,
So any banners that are submitted through April 1st,
Midnight.
two thousand
So
twenty-five
any banners submitted after the deadline goes into the following year.
into the following.
Exactly, but we already have them.
so
But
rephrase
it's
that
open
one more
throughout the
time for
year.
the minutes.
That's, yeah,
Yeah, rephrase that one more time briefly for the minutes to clarify it.
To have the nomination of banners open throughout the year.
Okay.
Until a date,
The deadline.
Okay,
April 1st, that's it.
here we have a motion, we have a second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, banner motion,
Then after April 6th, when anything that comes in will be for the following year.
I will say it kind of is functioning like that because we have people reach out, in August, in September saying,
how do I get, how do
how do
I,
I get about, and I collect their information and I keep it on the side so that, when it officially opens, I reach out and say, hey, it's officially open,
So
so.
at least throughout the year, you now have a base, the database is there.
One question, do you keep all this information on I'm assuming it's in a cloud somewhere, but it's in a folder that only you can access or anyone can access?
Staff.
Anybody in staff, anybody in staff. Okay,
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of reorganizing our folders,
yeah,
so. If I leave the town, you're still able to, track the crumbs
So,
to
yeah.
the
where it
folders.
is, okay.
how innovative.
I mean,
Well, leave, promoted, you never know.
it's,
Just
You do.
just keep a copy on a separate file.
yeah.
John, how do we handle the funding of actually, the installation of the banners?
What do you mean?
So we're
Who's
gonna.
going to pay for that?
what do you mean?
Well, we have 12,500 from our fund.
I know, but in the
And then-
past, I'm telling you if I'm mistaken, but in the past, didn't the town pay for the installation of the banners as they did for the,
Well, now it's an all-encompassing number of 19,000 and
Yeah.
change,
right,
which includes the installation, the printing, everything.
okay.
Yeah.
12,000 comes from town money and the remainder comes from the auto mall.
That's another, the 12,000 comes from the town money.
12,500, yeah,
Our money.
Our money was been.
Yeah.
allocated for the committee, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
now,
everybody from the auto mall.
because the year before last was the first year that we had that money allocated to us.
Right.
And the 2 years prior to that we did banners, the town paid for it.
No. Miami Lakes Auto Mall.
The automobile-
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
doing the whole thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
We went
so,
to see Fred, you remember? We went together. You
yeah,
and I.
exactly. All right, I wasn't sure and I appreciate the clarifying.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, any more comments on the banners? Okay, the, new business presentation ceremony of the $10,000 check. And also the check for $5,070 to the American Legion. And we have any plans of when we're gonna do that and how it's gonna be done?
I believe those are pending the big check from Sir Speedy.
That, but also the check for the Legion, we just got our grants and aid account created today.
Okay.
So I put the check request in, so the official, you know, the check that you can take to the bank will be sent, I think on Wednesday is when we cut checks. Now we can, since that money will be going, we can start thinking more about the ceremonial side of
Are
it.
we gonna do a big check with the Legion too, and can that be presented at our Legion meeting on Saturday?
No, because we don't have the big check from First Beat yet.
Well, I'm not, maybe the following month. I mean, could that check be presented at the,
It depends
Yeah,
on when we have that big check. It depends.
Whenever the check is available, if you wanna do it at a council meeting, if you wanna do it at that meeting, I don't know what.
I thought it'd be pretty cool if we had the mayor or somebody else come to our meeting and do a presentation ceremony to the American Legion. It's a pretty nice gesture, and I think that, it wouldn't be that much trouble.
Well, on the other side, you could actually do it here at a town meeting and have the American Legion. representatives.
That's a better idea.
That's an even better idea, because then the town can publicize it as the town does.
If it's done next week,
Good idea, Bill.
I will be here.
Can this be done by next week?
No.
So. The deals are just.
The council meeting is next week.
Monday, no?
Is that the only one that's ever gone slow here?
Election.
No. I don't know if you heard what Pedro said, the
Yes.
presentations are on Monday.
They're gonna give me
Actual
a
meeting-
proclamation on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Mayor called me, they're gonna give me a proclamation on Tuesday, but they changed it from Monday.
because of the election.
The election, and the
Special
mayor have to sign it, I think you have to stay till the end.
Yeah,
Okay.
To
the
make it official.
presentations are on Monday, so 4 days.
Right.
Because on Tuesday, there's the election, the canvassing board is made up of the mayor, the clerk, we're not gonna be there on Tuesday. So,
So there is no town hall meeting next week.
no, there is, but the presentation which happened before the meeting
Will be
Monday.
will be Monday, because the mayor will be gone
Oh,
all
yeah,
day.
7 o'clock.
Then if you don't get the check until Wednesday.
No, the official, the check that they can take to the bank will be cut on Wednesday, but if we're talking about the ceremonial. The big check, to procure the check, to approve it, like,
It's not gonna be ready for Monday.
we don't have the invoice, like. it's
So
not-
council meeting
Maybe-
presentations will be done on Monday,
Yes.
not Tuesday.
It'll be in May.
But maybe May, I think May
Because
is
like,
all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be May.
Because, okay.
May is National Military Appreciation Month.
Oh, even better.
Or
Look at
something.
that.
There
It
we
works
go.
out. Everything looks
They're
like.
always on holidays.
And we'll do the American Legion presentation at the same time.
Maybe we can go there.
Is that it?
Maybe, right.
When we, are we gonna do a presentation to the American Legion?
At the council meeting?
Yeah.
I mean.
The meeting in May.
The meeting in May?
Yeah, the same way the special needs board gets their check or. Had her cut, you know, the $10,000 one for the 5K, that was a special presentation.
And since May is the National Military Appreciation Month.
Exactly.
Uh,
Is that new?
Yeah.
I know.
I've never heard of that.
It's kind of like it.
Like the June one?
something I've been trying to push among all the committees is communicating with council members or the councils at large about, you know, asking them to do certain proclamations like, you know, this committee has an obligation to ask the council to recognize, you know, Black History Month. You know, it's not something that happened, but
That's usually cultural affairs.
if cultural affairs did,
Right.
or if, you know, there's a student education month, education advisory board would probably put that forward. Maybe we can
Special needs, I think just did it for autism month.
autism awareness on
Yes.
Monday, if the veterans wants to like, the veterans committee wants to write a letter or something asking them to specifically recognize May as Military Appreciation Month.
So, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, are we, any more conversation on those spec presentations, any comments? Okay, moving on to the next slide. I want to skip the beginning of that and move down to the last comment. That, you know, Bill's gonna be out of town for that Memorial Day ceremony. And it'd be great if we had someone from our committee to be the kind of the master of ceremonies, to be our keynote speaker with that. And, you know, I wanted to, if he'll agree, I think Alex would do an excellent job. He's a great speaker. I've heard him in the past.
Yeah.
He's very knowledgeable. He's a veteran. He's a Purple Heart veteran.
No, not,
Wouldn't jump out or without a jump?
no, but I'm flattered, but I will be out of town. I will be in the middle of the ocean,
You gonna be where?
in the middle of the ocean on a cruise.
There,
Oh, okay. Well, it's
Yeah,
just-
Next reschedule.
Gary.
The resale truth.
Gary,
Yeah.
Yes.
Gary, would you be up for the task?
Sure.
Okay, so do anyone make a motion?
Make a motion to nominate Gary.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, so Gary's gonna be the keynote speaker at the Memorial Day ceremony.
All in favor?
There you go, sir.
Aye.
Aye.
You accept?
I accept, thank you.
All in favor? Aye.
I think we.
Okay, another thing about that ceremony that I was hoping we would do that Bill did last year, and I thought it was really good. He had representatives from different branches of the military read the bios of war heroes, of, Purple Heart recipients, no, excuse
So
me.
they were all CMH veterans.
Right, Congressional Medal of Honor winners. I thought that was a really nice thing.
Yes.
We should, but one thing I'd like to do this year that we didn't do last year, to ensure that whoever is going to read it, that they get it in advance and they can rehearse it and practice
Right.
reading it, so it goes off smoothly when they're up on the stage. So, what do we think about that?
Yeah, I can ask,
Motion to do that?
well, I can ask Bill to, if he wants to like compile them. So what he did last year is get new
Okay,
things.
we could do this. We have time to do this, to make that motion. I think we'll all be in favor of that. Think about who, if you would like to read something and represent your branch in the military. And at our next meeting, it's not until the end of May, the actual ceremony.
Right.
So we'll have another meeting coming before then.
The first,
Yeah, I felt uncomfortable last year because I was directed to read about somebody. And I knew a half a dozen CMH medal, CMH awardees that I could have easily picked.
So would you feel more comfortable?
I
being
feel
somebody that
more,
you
I
know?
feel more comfortable if we identify the people to read them and let those people
Pick.
determine
That's a
who
great
they're gonna
idea.
read about.
And I hope that you will volunteer to do it again this year.
I will.
He's an excellent spokesman, an excellent reader. If you remember when he was our, what do you call it, for the parade?
Donlin just died,
Grand
as an
Master.
example.
Who?
Donlin, who was one of the first Vietnam CMH awardees.
Yeah,
And I mean, there's any number of Army, Vietnam and beyond awardees that many of whom I've rubbed shoulders with over the years. And I just, they're unassuming heroes. These are not people who chase after being a hero. It's heroism chases after them.
that's a nice way of putting it.
Mhm.
Thank you. I hope you will go ahead, you'll choose Donnelly or whoever, and you'll read that place.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all set on that. So Gary's gonna be master of ceremonies.
Mhm.
Hopefully Bill Reed for the Army and whatever other branches. If you want to volunteer, let's get it together before the next meeting. If you want to do that and think about who you want to read about, what hero you.
There might be something to talk to the Legion about this weekend, because we've got, people from all the branches.
We hope that the Legion members will participate.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good story. And on all the other liaison things we need to do to hook up with, the police department, the fire department, whoever.
Coast Guard, we get something, we have to. Coast Guard too, we can get.
We got a Coast Guard, absolutely. Maybe we can get a flag on that.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, moving along, the Veterans Committee schedule for the events for 24-25.
We went over that last week.
Yeah, that would be-
The only modification we have done was the date of the Veterans Day Parade. It was they had put it down for the 10th of November, and we moved it forward to the 3rd of November to not break up the long weekend,
Okay, so Veterans Day Parade is scheduled for when?
November 3rd.
Great.
oh, I brought up the route, the topic of the route,
It's always been,
It's not
the
moving.
same one, yeah.
but that would be not 67.
Nope.
That's a,
There was
that's a
an-
short of.
But we
the-
like 67. 67 wasn't the issue.
What was the issue?
We wanted.
You
to
had
move-
an issue.
Yeah, I had the issue.
Yeah.
I wanted to move south along, Miami Lakeway, north. And come back around up Miami Lakes Drive, as opposed to going the eastern route. That's the way it used to go.
Say that again, help me visualize this.
Okay, so it comes out at Bull Run,
Right.
then it goes south on 67th,
Right.
and it makes a left on Eagle Nest.
Yeah.
It comes back through Maine.
So you wanna go,
Want to go south where it used to go.
so this way?
Go
And
west.
up Main Street? Yeah, but it used to go that way because we used to end where Cien Montaditos.
Right.
The second that we started ending here
Correct.
is why we made that turn.
We used to end where right now, San Montalito.
Yeah, but that was what they were doing the building.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why we changed
But the
the,
problem was, and we used to come through Main Street, but that's a problem with the big one.
right, the military trucks.
Well, maybe that this is the third year that we're doing that route, to be more attendance. Because what's happened the past 2 years, there wasn't much attendance at all. And last year, by the time that, when the parade came around to finish where it did, there was very few, people actually at the ceremony at the end.
Yes.
Most of the people that sat there were the people that were in the parade.
Right.
There were no.
When we start planning for the parade again, I wanna introduce the idea of the area in front of the DJ, barricading it off to only veterans and their families. Reason being is because when the performances happen and the veterans are sitting there, every single parent of every single child blocks they block the street. And the veterans can't see the parade. So
When they
if we
stop right there.
barricade, exactly, if we barricade it and only allow, if you prove that you're a veteran, your family's with you, you get a wristband, you can go into that area. Into veterans safety,
That's a good point.
right in front of the DJ stage.
Well, won't most of the veterans be in the parade? No.
Yeah,
Well, I'm veterans in the parade.
Already be in the parade.
There'll be veterans in the parade, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
most of them are not in the parade.
usually when we see one with it.
Yeah, get it.
Come on. Get in line, soldier.
Okay, but between Francisca's and
And-
107 and Verizon, in front of the DJ, barricading it for only veterans.
That's a good idea.
Veteran spectator only.
Right, yep.
Going back to the Veterans Day Parade, where you said that to go south, to continue going south, but then making a right where again?
That was okay, before town hall, we used to end the parade, you know where San Montalitos is on Main Street?
Correct.
You know where Victoria, corner 67.
Victoria says.
Corner 67,
Okay.
Victoria, that little square is where the parade ended, and that's where we did the flag ceremony and the presentation of colors, everything was there, which before we ended here. So when we so you would go down on 67th and make a right on Miami Lakes Drive. And then you would make a right again by the gym and up Main Street
Okay,
and end there.
but what's the problem? We can't do that.
It's for one, that path is way too long and you wouldn't end in town hall where we do the luncheon after the fact.
Okay,
And we have the Veterans Memorial outside. In addition to that, the military trucks are too wide to fit through Main Street on that side.
That
Yeah.
pretty much answered my question about it. So
We did it that way because we ended there.
I think,
That makes
cause
sense.
so this year, what I noticed a lot was, we had a pretty good attendance. The problem was that we made a right here, I mean, I'm sorry, a left right here on Bull Run, but then no one was here.
No,
No one was here because it's all
yeah,
just apartments,
it's residential.
it's residential. So everybody just stuck to the
Main Street.
Main Street right here in that bit.
Yes.
Everybody just stayed right there. And to me, it was very short. It was very.
There is a hybrid version that was floated in the past.
7 miles.
During the pandemic,
How much?
we continued the parade going. The way we did that is a drive-by parade. I don't know if you all remember that when we did that.
I love that.
Remember that we started at Royal Oaks Park on 87th and we finished at Town Hall.
That was because.
Luis Collazo approached and said, can we somehow involve this? We can technically do that by doing just a motorized version of the parade, starting from Royal Oaks Park at 8:30 in the morning, give or take. By the time we make it to the staging area, say 10 o'clock in the morning, and we continue on the parade with everybody behind it. That's one way of making it longer. In years past, we also had instances where it was too hot and we had cheerleaders, members of band passing out.
So that's gonna happen regardless, whether it's long or short. We had some that passed out also just a
Right.
little short distance. It's gonna happen regardless.
Right.
The problem is if you continue to change things,
Right.
then people don't get used to what is already there. So,
Exactly.
and people want to go to something that they're familiar with. And
Exactly.
since it's been there now 2 times, this third time, it's just gonna build and build and build. What
Exactly.
we just have to do is do a better job of bringing people to that ceremony at town hall. Because if it wasn't for Bill, I was walking away too. You know, I was literally walking up to my
Mhm.
bar, but he's like, no, we got the ceremony. And so
And the ceremony is here.
they're right there, yeah.
Maybe we need to work on social media, maybe the newspaper and get a little more advertising out where it's gonna be and.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Way concerned.
And also working for us because I remember we also had an issue with water and we had an issue with the porta john, everything.
Yeah.
It was,
water.
it was everything.
But I do believe that right now we're putting the carpet for the horse because that is still,
Yeah, that's.
Way down. So it's.
Yuri does a good
And,
job.
These are good ideas to keep in the back of my mind. going
Comes
forward.
along pretty fast.
Yeah,
It does.
And I brought up
Yeah.
I brought up the floats as well, you know, I think Bill brought up do you think the Macy's Day, the massive balloons? Trying to scale that down here.
That wasn't my idea, that was Bill's idea.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's usually
yeah.
trees.
Well, besides the canopy,
Oh, yeah.
you're talking
Macy's,
costs,
Ma-
and you're
Macy's.
talking,
Yeah.
No,
like, you need certain volunteers to bring that because it's a lot of,
yeah, no.
it's not like the public blue, you know?
Yeah.
That is a very powerful thing that could, when decides to act up, you're.
Bye-bye.
It's not.
And not just that, you also have to think about the flight path for Oaxaca Airport.
Right, yeah.
How high are they gonna be?
You start losing.
My idea
balloons
wasn't that, my idea was.
right on
Like
On the flight path.
They'll be very unhappy.
And by the way, we started something because the float for the veterans
Mhm.
from our post,
Angels truck.
this year, the Graham companies are gonna have a float.
Really?
Yeah,
They
I
talked to
think
me
they had a
about
truck last year.
it, so now they have the
They've
information.
upgraded.
But we should start reaching out to NBC6, Fox, WSBN, WPLD, and tell them, hey, we have a
Well,
line
I
running
hope to
great
reach out to the Orange
in
Bowl.
Miami-Dade
I
County.
just updated.
We
it.
have the largest parade in South Florida,
They have
2010.
floats already.
Yeah, the longest
Yeah.
running is Miami-Dade.
All they need is
That much.
Yeah, exactly, sponsored.
Hey, I mean, the Orange Bowl committee is always looking to help the
To
community.
do,
Like, that's their, they have a whole nother, like, most of the Orange Bowl committee is not the game or the
No.
basketball game in Fort Lauderdale, it is community outreach.
Correct.
Like, that's like their.
Let's work with them.
So Chad,
Right.
could you make a contact
Yeah.
for us and see if there's interest?
Yep.
That'd be another, you know what we're saying, in other words, talk about, like, we have the float that the American Legion pays for,
Mhm.
sponsored by the Automall, that and a couple other sponsors. We would go.
We have the one with the boat. What's the one with the boat that always comes?
No, this isn't a boat.
I
This
think
is
he comes
regular
on his
float.
own, like.
This is
Yeah,
like
that
a
was
float
the
that's
concept.
separated.
that was beautiful.
No, not a Coast Guard auxiliary. But anyways, I think we're getting way too far in advance ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, well,
But it's gonna work quick.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Oh,
would
it
be-
will.
we should.
But anyway, let's begin talking to the Orange Bowl committee.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you let them know enough in advance that you want to float, and they may be able to help us out.
Oh, we have a date
Yeah,
already.
you got Obi and plus
Yeah.
whatever.
We
Larry,
have a date.
they go to our
Start
meetings.
talking to people who we think may want to be involved
Exactly.
and let them know about the date.
The Orange Bowl committee comes to a chamber, lunch, chamber of
Yeah.
commerce.
There's one next week.
Let's talk to them.
When,
I'll give you.
when are they coming?
NAP is coming,
They
no?
come next, Wednesdays,
The 10th?
second Wednesday of each month,
Yeah.
The 10th?
Yeah.
the 10th, correct.
And NAP is a guest speaker this time.
The guest speaker is,
Is Nap.
Nap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In between well, we got the picnic coming up, but in between the, Arbor Day event and Memorial Day,
Mhm.
actually after Memorial Day, what am I saying? The next event after that would be 9/11.
Right.
And, my understanding is that we have another, meeting. The police, what's the other committee?
The public safety.
Public safety.
I have to, the liaison did bring it up to them.
Until
I
Wednesday.
don't remember the outcome of their discussion, and there's some concern about funding, but there's no money that goes for.
Is Nancy still in charge of that committee?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'll reach out to her.
So I'll double check with Isle, it was brought up to them, it's only,
Yeah, it's gonna need all new flags this year. The flags are shot,
Okay.
except for some of the. small
well, that's if it's at Veterans Park. There was a discussion about having it at Town Hall in front of the
The V.
V, thank you, with, imagine a police truck here and a fire truck there. A more intimate ceremony, I like to think of it, but that, again, that's,
Okay.
I agree. I think that's a good idea.
Yes.
I think it, and the reason is, I brought it up because one, you know, my inner dialogue of, you know, is it more of a public safety event or a veterans event? And in my opinion, it's more public safety. I understand the marriage of the two,
I agree.
but, also the concern about volunteers needing it to be, if you have to move the date of the 9/11 event to have volunteers, I'd say you don't worry about the volunteers, you figure out a way
It's
to
on a
amplify
Wednesday.
it, and
On a Wednesday.
it's on a Wednesday, so if the concern was not having volunteers on a Tuesday or a Monday to set up, keep it on the Wednesday, on 9/11. But simplify it, and I think this could be a simplified version if it's at town hall,
Yeah.
you already have the staff here, you're not having to worry about, weekend or overtime or this or that.
No.
You're not really having to worry about
Right.
volunteer coordination because it's a
Great.
relay.
Most of our volunteers are high school students.
Yeah.
And so I'll double up with that committee. They're-
Great. You can keep us posted on it.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to go back to the Memorial Day event for a minute. One of the things that we did last year, and Jonathan helped me do it, is we carried out the battlefield cross. And it was kind of a last minute thing because they said, nah, it's too heavy to carry out there, et cetera, whatever. But I gotta tell you, Jonathan, that guy's got some muscle. He carried it out there. So
You dropped that one.
we, I thought it was great. It was a great presentation. It was very appropriate for the event. And I think that'd be good to do that again this year, to bring that out and have it on display in front of the keynote speaker. And I also think it would be good if another third party, maybe Pedro, maybe one of you, would consider actually, telling the story of what the battlefield cross is. I think that was really well received last year and
Yeah, like that put in.
the purpose of it. Gary gave Bill a copy of what it was all about so he could read it. But I think we could even do it better if someone was more rehearsed on it and abbreviated it, maybe gave a 3-minute dissertation on what, what the battlefield cross is, and hand out the flyers.
Probably before the reading of the biographies
Or put it on the program.
in the. in
Yeah,
the-
probably before,
Probably
the
before.
or after, doesn't matter. We can decide on that.
Put it on the program.
We have another meeting before then, so it's something that, we think
And
is a good idea.
if it calls for it, there could be a special meeting. Just,
All right,
yeah.
so to coordinate that, we need some help with the logistics. Get it out of the Mary Collins Center and make sure it's there. So you'll coordinate that, Jonathan?
Yeah, and it's on I believe that's on Monday?
Mr. Secretary, can we get that in the notes to make sure?
Probably said it was a Wednesday.
No, Memorial is on day.
Wednesday, 9/11.
27.
Yeah, there'll be staff there. I won't have to.
I think you've covered everything. Is there anything else that anyone has to contribute?
I move to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
All about Wednesday.
Hi.
Adjourned.
Opposed.